So here we're going to make a little graph using some data I've entered. I've got my data right here. I'm in an older version of Excel, but a newer version of Excel works the same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my data, go up here to this little graph. This will insert a graph. In the newer version of Excel, there's a menu at the top that says Insert, and you can choose a graph, and then everything works the same way from there. So I click on this graph. This gives me some options for graphs. I'm just going to select a chart type right here. Move to next. Basically shows me what my graph's going to look like. And here are some options. Titles for your axes, so I can label my x-axis age, y-axis I can title frequency, and then this tells me that the chart will, I can either make a new sheet in my Excel worksheet, or the graph will just appear within the same page, and I'll do that. So I'll say finish, and there's my graph. Now what I can do is I can play with this in lots of different ways, and typically things are done using a right click. So I can right click on this axis and it'll allow me to format the axis. I can right click on this axis. It allows me to format that axis. I can click on these grid lines. I can format those, or I can get rid of them. This right here is the legend. It tells me what these bars mean. I can get rid of that if I want. And then as far as making this into a histogram, what I want to do is right click on the data. So I pick one of the bars, and it says Format Data Series. Get all this done with a right click. And patterns, I can make them different colors, I can make them different shapes, I can have all kinds of patterns within the bars. We'll keep it simple here. And what I'm going to do is go down to Options, and here I've got something that's called Gap Width right here. That tells me how far apart my bars are. Well, if I want a histogram with no spaces, I make the gap width 0. Ta-da! There's my graph. There's my histogram.